Peace and blessings. I want to thank you for your patience with me. It's been a while since I've published an episode, and I've just been working on other projects at this time. But I do want to honor all of the beautiful melanated business owners that I've already spoken to and get their episodes published so that you can start interacting and engaging with their brands. And so I just wanted to thank you for your patience with me and continue to rock with me and a News You Can Use podcast. We have a lot of beautiful business spotlights to share with you. And so stay tuned. Thank you.
St. Louis dropping, popping.
Black bodies on the line. Let the creator elevate your mind.
New hits like this.
Like 3, you're out, no mistake. That's the way the pitch break. My old man, sleeping in his
The Redemption song by the V.
sometimes grumbling and complaining, but always keeping on. A garden of fragrant flowers. Then you, woman, child,
Last poet, you know it.
flowering garden of my heart, and my heart opened to you.
Pick it up at your local neighborhood stores.
Do you want to bring balance to all the wireless radiation fields in your life, including 5G? The Omnia Radiation Balancer is a small sticker you can stick on any device. It changes the state of the field and creates a new resonance between the wireless radiation and your energy field. On the link below, you'll see all our testing results that show how the body responds excellently once you've made this change in your life. Plus, you can enter the discount code BBE in capital letters for a 10% discount. It's easy to bring balance back to your body with the Omnia Radiation Balancer.
Welcome back to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast. My name is Frenchair, the host of the podcast. We want to thank you for tuning in to another episode. Make sure you're downloading the past episodes, following us on Spotify, subscribing on Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and give us a review and a rate on Apple Podcasts so other people like yourselves can discover the podcast. We appreciate all of you who are contributing to the podcast. You can donate directly to the podcast through the anchor.fm app. If you donate $9.99 monthly to us, we receive more of your monies. You can directly send us donations through Cash App and PayPal. That information is in the show notes. And I want to welcome our business spotlight on the line today. We have Preval Goddy.
What's going on? How you doing today? Well,
Doing
tonight.
well. How are you?
I'm good.
Preval Goddy is 29 years old, born in Dayton, Ohio. He's a brand owner, aspiring designer, and a creative. Derek, tell us about who you are. Give us some background history of who you are, where you're from, where you live, and all that jazz.
29 from Dayton, Ohio. Born and raised for the most part. I moved around a nice amount of times in my life. From Indiana, Chicago, back to Indiana, back to Dayton. So, I'm single, no kids. So, that's the luxury, I have right now. Just
Right.
be able to, move around and experience life a little bit. So this year, going into next, maybe, Lord's willing, we're looking to relocate more than likely to, Los Angeles or at least the Cali area, or Atlanta potentially. My options are still open, but, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I grew up playing sports, my entire life for the most part. played a little bit in football in college. And that's kind of where the whole ideal of just entrepreneurship, and wanting my own and creating my own, uh, that fire ignited there. Just because I knew football wouldn't last forever, and from there, that's when I just kind of began my journey of finding myself and my gift and the purpose that I have, and the reason God put me here. We're here to inspire others, ultimately. So, I just want to be used honestly. And, along the way we found Prevail, and that's where we at now.
Very nice. Tell us more about your brand, Prevail by Goddy.
Well, actually, before I even came up with Prevail, I had a whole different name that I wanted to go with.
Hmm.
I won't say it just because it's going to come back around. It just ties in with Prevail ultimately, and it's just kind of crazy how God works. Uh,
Nice.
but at that time, I wasn't confident in just the marketability of the name,
Hmm.
and just being able to uh, touch the masses like I feel like I'm able to do. With that, of course, that hard work. Faith without works is dead. So you got to be working in the process. But uh, with Prevail, it just ultimately, it touches every being on the earth. I feel, everyone has their story. Everyone has a trial, tribulation that that they've been through, that they have to overcome. Uh, but at the same time, it's up to you to overcome it. You meet yourself at the crossroads, and it's either you have that excuse or you're going to keep pushing through. So you understand Prevail, but it's ultimately up to you to create that aspect of overcoming whatever situation you're in. Uh, I mean, good or bad, because sometimes you can be put in a good situation, and uh, you know, if you aren't ultimately, who like if you're not right on the inside, you could like take advantage of those opportunities or the people that God put in your life to ultimately take you to that next level. As far as just like greed or envy, jealousy, things of that nature. So you know, too much of anything is bad for you. So you just got to find that balance.
That's right. So what was the inspiration for you starting your clothing line?
Well, actually, the clothing is just a vehicle to ultimately get me to the destination that I, vision my brand going is honestly more than fashion.
Okay.
Uh, it honestly started. I was working in I had so many different jobs like this. I was actually working with youth at a correctional facility,
Okay.
and uh, I was honestly trying to find different ways to help them manage their anger, things of that nature. Uh,
Hmm.
you know, in times of altercation, I would wait to jump in like last minute just to see how that they, how they would work it out, and if they would be able to talk through. A lot of times that failed. A lot of youth aren't able to communicate, especially, you know, excuse me. Uh, I mean, when they don't know how or they've never experienced, that, or all you have are the people in your home constantly yelling at you, cussing you out and things of that nature. You don't know how to effectively communicate.
Right.
And I actually began to have them do things that they love to do. As far as someone loved art, I would tell them just go draw me something. someone like music, like to rap, like, hey, go, pop in your your room and write a rap or something. And after about 30, 45 minutes go by and they come back out, they calm down, uh, they're in their right mind and they're able to effectively communicate with one another. And also it pulls them out the situation to, give them uh, a bird's eye view in a sense to see where they probably were wrong in that situation. And, and that's kind of where my brand began to build because I was, teaching them that they could use their gift and what God blessed them, with to begin, creating a business and making money at the age that they were.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just was, you know, trying to play with their minds and stuff, just give them ideas. But in the meantime, I'm also big on doing as well. And I've also always had a fire of having something, that I could call my own, that I could potentially pass down, for generations, hopefully, and build off of as well. So, uh,
Yes.
that's where the brand, came alive. And it was mainly built to give, at-risk youth a voice through creative arts, ultimately. Uh, and I have a lot planned for the future and moving forward with, dealing with youth as far as, you know, making them a part of my brand, as far as just artistically moving forward. And just giving back a lot and pouring, into them because they are our future. Uh, and we need them. And yeah, I'm gonna do everything in my power to help where I can. And it just starts with one. You can just inspire one person the rest of your life, and that one person can go on to change millions of lives. I pray to touch many more, but sometimes it just takes to touch the right person. So, that's the goal.
Yes, I love that. That's beautiful. Well, tell us more. What else we need to know about Prevail by Gotti? Prevail Gotti.
Uh, man, I don't really right now, and I'm just in a season of just enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Uh, a lot of people looked at 2020 not, to look too much in the past, but as this difficult year, and don't get me wrong, it definitely was a tough year for everyone with everything, that was going on within the year. But it also was a year to just, fall back in love with myself, to spend time with myself, to uh, heal myself. Sometimes, until you're alone, you don't see, some of the hurt or pain or damage that you've been through or that you still need to heal from. You just
Mhm.
have open wounds that you're just trying to throw bandages on, but you continuously picking at that scab and don't even see it. Uh, so, right now, and I'm just enjoying myself and just building honestly. If it's not about, just my growth, my elevation as far as, personally, when it comes, to myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, and just elevating my life, my brand, and yeah, it's not for me. You got to make sacrifices. One of my biggest taglines for my brand is without sacrifice, there can be no victory. And I mean, you know, I really don't need to explain what it means, but at the end of the day, you have to sacrifice something, you know, and every war is casualties. So, the war you have within yourself, the war you have within, you know, creating opportunities, the war you have within your mind of, being disciplined in order to get something, you have to sacrifice something to get there. Uh, I have one of my biggest inspirations, and is actually one of my biggest supporters. It's actually my barber. His name is Roger Evans. He's kind of like an uncle slash, OG mentor of mine.
Yeah.
And he had been cutting hair since I believe he was about 14, 15, and, you know, turned it into a lucrative business and was making money off of it. And funny story, before he even went to school to get his license and everything, he was cutting hair out of his mother's basement. He had been cutting my hair since I was 5. And someone called, uh, called on him, and the police came to his house and everything, basically telling him he had to shut down. So he just, ended up going to school, already know how to cut hair, got his license, and has turned it into a lucrative business, has his own shop and everything like that. But with that being said, sometimes we have conversations, and he said, people look at the success that I've built over the years and where I'm at now, and they don't see the sacrifices I made in the past. He was
Hmm.
in high school, not he never went to any type of proms, homecomings, you know, party, because he was working. He's never had a job a day in his life besides cutting hair, but he made sacrifices to get to where he is today, and
For sure.
to be a success. So, uh, with that said, that's just the season that I'm in, for myself, just, making these sacrifices so that, you know, I can create, like I said, for my current family and my future family, and to be able to pass something down and also build from this. Like I said, this is just a vehicle to get me to to my final destination. So, uh, you know, when it comes to Prevail by Gotti, this will be, a brand, within itself, not just fashion. We plan to be a household name. We plan to, hit different areas, of life, because in everything you have to prevail. Whatever you do in life, you have to prevail.
Right.
So, that's kind of the mindset we're in right now.
I love that. I created this interview series, Derek, about trying to get into leaders' heads, find out what their motivations are, find out their inspirations. So, describe yourself in 3 words.
Describe myself in 3 words. Oh man, call me too fast. I mean, you asked that too fast. For the people, for the people.
Okay.
I mean, simply because I definitely want and desire to have certain things for my life and in my life personally, but I just feel better when I serve, you know, and when I'm giving. Uh, it's been times I haven't been able to give to others, and I felt bad, like like dang, I wish I could help, big or small. It's like, man, I wish I could help. I wish I could do more.
Right.
But you have to help yourself first before you can help anyone else. You can't be giving out a half full cup or empty cup, excuse me, and yours isn't being refilled or poured back into, in a sense. And if you're in a stage in life where you're ultimately the one pouring into your cup, you know you have to wait till you get to a certain point to really help like you want to in certain areas, you know uh depending on what stage you are in life, whether that's material assets or just you know mental relief or physical relief, whatever the case may be. And yeah, so I don't know. I just feel like I'm for the people because I just feel better, when I'm serving. It-
I
Uh,
feel that.
yeah, I just feel it's like a love. It's like a force field is around my body. It's just like I'm excited when I can help. So uh, yeah, for the people, because the more that I can, do, the more that I can obtain, and the more that I could give back, the better I feel, just ultimately about myself. Uh,
Yes.
I feel like I'm living I'm bringing purpose and meaning to life. So, or breathing life into someone, or, you know, yeah, it's no better feeling sometimes to hear someone say, you helped me change my life, or without you, I don't think this would have been possible. I mean, at the end of the day, it was honestly them. You just were a vessel, breathing into them. But it still feels great to hear people say things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. You're right. It does.
Yeah.
What was that fleeting moment in your life that catapulted you to your present self, but certainly could have really gone the other way?
I think the moment for me, one night I was out partying, uh, and I was kind of lost as far as just within myself. Uh, I knew what I wanted out of life, but I wasn't moving in the direction that I, should have been.
Hmm.
Uh, I just was, at a battle within myself, and I was driving down the highway, probably around about 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock a.m., and it's winter time, and it probably was black ice, I believe, because my car was in good shape and everything. But you know, by God's grace, I had passed everyone in traffic, and my car just started spinning out of control.
Oh, wow.
I'm just spinning. It was slow motion for me, but it happened so fast. And I spent about I spent from the middle lane going right all the way over into the concrete wall, and I hit the wall. I went airborne. The car spun again, and I came down and I was facing traffic. And as soon as everything was over, all the traffic began to pass by me, and got out. Nothing was wrong with me, nothing whatsoever. No scars, no scratches, no broken bones, anything. And I was just walking on the side of the freeway, just trying to see, how close I was, to exit and where I was.
Hmm.
And, you know, someone had called, the police and everything. So within 10, 15 minutes, paramedic pulled up. They checked on me, make sure I was, okay and everything. But went home that night unfazed. But for me, it was that moment. I just realized, like, at any moment, your life could really be taken away from you.
Yeah.
Uh, and with that said, though, that's probably like a third or fourth time I've had an incident that honestly could have went the wrong way for me within my life. That being the most recent. Um, but in my younger ages, you're grateful that your things didn't go, the wrong way, but you really don't, take in how grateful you should be, and
Yes.
how like, yeah, how, yeah, not to even go too deep, but just how grateful you really should be, and just thankful that, nothing happened like whatsoever. Like one of my biggest words is perspective, uh, because no matter what you go through, it's all about the perspective that you have to get through. You could play victim, you could, you know, create excuses as and why this or why that, or uh, you could choose to see it in a different light and take things as a lesson, uh, take things and grow from it and build from it. And if it's something you could ultimately change yourself, then do the things you can. And if it's something that's out of your control, just put it in God's hands and walk away from it. But you have to be grateful for breath in your body. You know, if He blesses you every morning to wake up, be grateful for that. Breath in your body. That good health. Thank Him. Because any minute it could be taken away. I can walk out my door and 2 seconds from the time you get off this phone and something could happen. You just never know. So you just have to be grateful and for His grace and mercy over your life, honestly.
For real. That's the truth. Thank you for that. We're going to go to a sponsor's break. We'll be right back.
Providing stability in uncertain times, division leaders Tamara and Xavier Bannister will protect your employees and their families with the security of life insurance. Being the CEO of a company comes with a plethora of responsibilities such as communication, understanding, and critical thinking. The most important skill of a true leader is to lead from the front. Having the best intentions to secure and educate employees with integrated resources will be the core components needed for innovative thinking. Many corporations will be making groundbreaking achievements during the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's put supporting your employees with a thriving legacy of affordable life insurance on the forefront of your agenda. Build a company on solid ground. Life insurance is essential for future generations to have a legacy of integrity. Contact us at 818-392-9479. Division leaders Tamara and Xavier Bannister. Affordable life insurance for your budget. The Bannisters. Division leaders of Primerica. 818-392-9479. Call today for a quote. The Bannisters, Division Leaders, 818-392-9479.
Welcome back. So we were just here talking to Derek of Prevail by Goddy. We're into the Black Influencers Values interview series. Derek, what are your morning and nightly rituals?
Uh, well, my morning ritual, I won't lie. I wake up. Uh, I like to start my morning with a little bit of stretching,
Okay.
meditation, just a little bit, get my mind right, my daily affirmations and things of that nature. Get some water in my system. From that point on, I won't lie, I definitely have to start my morning ritual with what I like to call my cup of coffee, uh,
Okay.
which is some good greens, marijuana.
Yes, yes.
Gotta roll one up,
Wake
get my
and bake.
morning started. Yeah, just get me ready for my day, ready to tackle the long day that I have ahead of me. And yeah, that's basically how I get my day started. Uh, for the most part, my nightly ritual, I really don't have one. It depends on my night, honestly, because some nights I might fall asleep early, but most nights I'm up, late working, whether it's, you know, working on a sewing machine, designing things, working on new logos or, things for the brand, uh, or to just, watching different podcast interviews with people who inspire me and, inspire my vision and can pour into, what it is I'm creating over here. So the night, it just depends, honestly.
Okay. Who should I interview next?
Who should you interview next? Uh, Someone that I met actually. Yeah, I won't give up too much information as our relationship, but he's my guy. It's a big inspiration for me, and as far as my fashion uh, development, may I say, and moving forward within the fashion industry. But his name is Prep Curry, PrepCurry. I believe his Instagram name is Prep Curry as well. He's a dope designer based out of Los Angeles. Uh, yeah, so pretty solid guy.
All right. Well, will you connect me to Prep Curry, please?
For sure, for sure.
All right. Who is your target audience and your self-proclaimed niche talents and or gifts?
My target audience, uh, my target audience is anybody just in a struggle. I mean, I know I could go deeper as into, age and all that good stuff, gender and all everything like that. But I mean, for me, my market is anybody that knows what the struggle is and and knows what it feels like to you know go through that struggle and overcome it and come out on the other side. I mean, ultimately, we're all diamonds in a sense. This, my view, one of my views on life, we're all diamonds and we're diamonds in a rough. One thing about a diamond is when you find it, it's not that diamond that you see, that sparkling diamond that everyone sees, that end result. That's not what it is when you first get it. You have to still clean that diamond off. You have to still cut that diamond. Uh, One thing about diamonds, not one diamond is the same. And that's just, a view of us, as people. None of us are the same. We are all different personalities. We all have different, value that we bring. It's up to you to
Mhm.
find that value. But, until you clean and cut that diamond, it's not the diamond that it becomes, you know. So uh yeah, you just have to, nurture in on self, nurture in on self and find, your gift and who you are in order to, become that diamond. Uh, what was the other ones you had asked?
Yes. What are your self-proclaimed niche talents and or gifts?
Uh, Man, niche talents or gifts. Well, I just when it comes to the whole fashion side, I believe I was gifted, with it. Just because I've self-taught my, when it comes to everything, as far as
Nice.
uh, sewing work, printing work, designing, just through trial and error. Along the way, God, has been blessing me to, put, different people into my life in order for them to go to that next level. But, I'm self-taught. I believe that's, a hidden talent because no matter what, I'm gonna try it myself before, you know, I give up or somebody's playing games. I'm gonna find a way to try it myself. I'm gonna figure it out. And if I screw up, then it's back to the drawing board. But I'm definitely gonna try it myself, and most of the time I succeed. Save a lot of money in trying myself as well.
I bet.
Yeah, I go work on the car. Hey, I'll put these hands to work. Yeah, I look at anything. So problem going on in the house somewhere. I'm gonna look into it to see if I can fix it myself first.
Nice. Good trait. put you to work over here.
Hey, time is money. Time is money.
What did the younger you envision, see, think, or was told to make you impact people the way you do?
Oh man, it just comes from a lot of different inspirations in my life, and but the main one I would just say family. I honestly come from a family full of hustlers, as far as the generation before my generation, our parents and things of that nature, but they've always been good, genuine, solid people. Uh, and, found a way ultimately to, turn that way, that life to something else, for themselves. But just the family love, just the morals and values they, built within us. Just the support that they gave us, just the way that they taught us, just right from wrong, the you know the relationship, with God. Even if you stray away, you still ultimately know, like, what your beliefs are. Not saying you don't search for deeper meaning, or if what you were taught was right or wrong for your life, and your growth, but it's still that foundation there. And you know I would say that was the most important part for me. It's just my family structure, family love, family support. I have a big family, and yeah, like, our support is crazy. We'll get together for functions, and it won't even be a holiday or a reason to get together. Someone to just, hey, I'm doing this today, everybody come over, I'm cooking, or I'm a grill today, so growing up and just having that family love and support and structure was big.
Yes. What is your favorite book, song, and quote, and why?
Ooh, favorite book. Well, I'm gonna go off top of the head. I would probably say The Art of War. Uh, Reason being, it just applies to all aspects of life, honestly, because no matter what, I feel like you're in a war. Uh, you're fighting a battle at the end of the day. I mean, and even in battles, they had time where they were able to, sit back and relax and have a little bit of fun. But you still got to get back up in the morning, and it's back to work. It's a never ending battle to get what you want, to get what you desire, to get more. It's never anything wrong with wanting more. You know, uh, it has to be a healthy more. You can't get too greedy in certain areas, but it's nothing wrong with wanting more in life. Uh, but yeah, the art of war just, it just, gives you, teaches you and gives you that mindset of overcoming, the war within, the war of life, and just understanding more so about battle, and what war really means. And it helped me just in that aspect, compare the two, as far as just battle and war, as far as actual physical battle, to the things I battle with in life. So uh, yeah, that's probably, especially because that's one of the most recent reads I have
Okay.
uh, read. So that's probably why I went with that. I don't do as much reading as I used to. Uh, I used to love reading. Now I don't do as much. I kind of just skim books.
I don't either.
Like,
I'm
yeah,
guilty too.
yeah. I won't lie. I mean, I'll buy a book or something, but I'll look at the chapters or something and be like, oh man, this look like this might obtain to me. I really feel like I need this. And, I go through, skip through the chapters, scan through different stuff like that right now. But yeah, I've been trying to audio book, but it get too boring for me sometimes. Like, and I'm a real chill, laid back, reserved person, but audio books put me to sleep. Like I might have to start listening to them at night or something. Because during the day, it don't work for me. uh,
That's funny.
favorite quote. Oh man, it's a lot of quotes out here. I guess it what I hmm, favorite quote. Well, probably I'll go with one I heard Nip say, which was the highest human act is to inspire. And it just goes back to what I said, earlier. I just feel like, serving people and being able to touch someone is, it just feels great. Whether it be through, the fashion, because one thing about, my brand, a lot of things that, I'm dropping in and planning to come out with and design, you know, uh, those voices, my voice, others' voices will come out through those pieces. I mean, it
Okay.
could even be something as simple as a hoodie. It's still going to be a story behind that specific hoodie. It has to, have reason. It has to have purpose. Because at the end of the day, I'm an artist. No matter what you do, if you're creative, you're an artist, and you should speak through your work. Uh, Especially, everyone may not be able to, touch you and like physically contact or touch you at certain points in life, and certain levels you get to. So, in order to be able to, touch those people, you have to be able to, not only give them something dope to wear, but if you could correlate, a dope piece to, you know, their struggle in life, it creates more meaning. That piece becomes more value, to the customer. And I would lie if I say, I'm not looking to monetize off what I'm doing, because that's definitely goal one. But at the same time, I feel as if I would be like letting the people down that, do support me and will support me moving on if I don't give them, something with meaning,
Yes.
something that has, a purpose behind it, because even if it is just a hoodie that you do buy from me, I want that to be the hoodie you wake up and put on every day, like, oh, I'll run into the store, like, favorite hoodie, like, oh, I'm going to the gas station, throwing this hoodie on, like, just because you connect with the message and, and everything that we put, behind, that specific piece.
I love that. What's your
Uh,
favorite song?
right now, and it's hard to pick my exact favorite song, but
Top three. Top
I
three.
probably will go with Organic Mirror top three. That's still hard because see, I love music. Like we could have sat here and talked about music the whole time, and I
Most of
listen
my
to
guests do.
almost everything. Like I listen to almost everything. I don't get into like the whole heavy metal, hardcore rock or nothing, but I'm big on like old school music. Like I can go back and listen to Nina Simone and Louis Armstrong's. Then I can move up to people like Heat Wave, Ohio Players, OJ's, M Tune, Juicy Fruit. Everybody think, especially this younger generation, they just think that Juicy Fruit is Biggie. They don't know that's a sample for real. But Yeah,
Juice.
I, yeah, I love music, but uh, top three, top three, top three songs. I've been listening to "Organic Miracles" a lot by Larry June. Uh,
Hold up. Organic Miracles.
yeah, "Organic Miracles" by Larry June.
June.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just like the
Okay.
month. Uh, this is tough.
I know.
This is tough. And I'm probably just going off the songs that's in my playlist at this moment that I listen to the most. Mother's Finest, Love Changes. That's an old school joint for you.
Mother's Finest.
Yeah, Love Changes.
Love Changes. Okay.
And then, oh man, I forget the name of the song, but it's a new song 50 Cent just came out with. Uh, Crap. It's 50 Cent and NLE Chopper. I forget the name of the song.
You said Ellie Chopper.
NLE Chopper, like CHOPPA, I believe.
Okay. I can look for that.
Um, I might be able to find it really fast to give you the name. Oh man. Yeah, it is called Part of the Game.
Part of the game.
So those probably been my top. Yeah, Part of the Game. But those have probably been the three songs I've been listening to the most here lately.
All right.
Although I I listen to Larry June about probably every day. That's probably one of my top artists for me.
All
I
right.
listen to Larry June, yeah, a lot. So,
You just introduced me to somebody, so I'm gonna have to check out Larry June, see what he all about.
yeah, like I said, I listen to a lot of music. It just depends on the mood you catch me in, honestly. Because I mean, we can even hop to the '90s R&B.
Oh,
Uh,
that's my favorite
you
there.
know, yeah. I mean, I literally have um playlist in my title, as far as just my rap playlists are broken down into different genres of rap, like lyrical, club, you know, like yeah, I have playlists that has about 10 hours plus music on it,
Nice.
hundreds of songs. Yeah,
I get it. Name two
yeah.
things you want to tell the world.
Two things I want to tell the world. Okay, back like I said, without sacrifice, there can be no victory. Whatever you want in this life, you can have it. Uh, not saying compare your life to anyone else's. That's the last thing I'm telling you to ever do. Your journey is your journey. But with that said, like it's people out here doing everything you dream of doing and wanting in life. It's people doing it and more. Whether you're seeing it or not. And as people, came from worse situations than what you're currently in. That's doing, what you dreamed on, doing in life or the desires you have. Uh, but again, you see the glitz and glams, but you don't see what they went through to get there. You don't see, those nights that they slept on somebody's floor, or the nights they slept in their car, or those the mornings they woke up to their car gone, or the mental battle that they went through, and you know the list goes on. I mean, you can go on about, different hardships people, endure. Uh, but you don't see all that. You don't know their story. Uh, but you do know that they had to sacrifice something in order to get to where they are today. Especially if it's something worth mentioning and talking about. As far as any type of success, they sacrifice something. Uh, and with that, just another tagline of mine is just stand the test of time. Anything that's real, over time is going to stand. I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
just, whether it's jewelry, gold, diamonds, the fake stuff is going to tarnish. It's going to, break down. It's going to crumble. But anything that's real, it's going to withstand, the test of time. And, ultimately, God, He didn't say He wouldn't put you through the fire and test you. He just said you would come out unblemished, unfazed. So in a time of controversy, in a time of fire, you got to stand there knowing who you are, just as if things was going great for you. At your lowest points, you still got to be able to know who you are, because if you get too lost, it could steer you down the wrong direction. So you gotta, you know when the pressure comes, you gotta know you gotta know you real. You gotta be able to stand there and withstand, whatever storm that you're going through, honestly. So those probably two main things I would leave people with.
Yes, thank you. Are you a saver or a shopper? And what are your financial strategies?
Ooh, I'm honestly a saver for the most part. I mean,
Okay.
because I love fashion and clothes, but ever since I got into having my own brand, I generally don't wear anything besides my brand. Far
Nice.
as, I mean, head to toe, like I'm generally like in my own stuff. So that's honestly helped me cut back. Uh, far as on spending, honestly, because I definitely did, love buying clothes and shoes, and especially shoes, because I grew up working in like Finish Line, just far as retail, like different shoe stores and managing shoe stores and things of that nature. So I used to buy a lot of shoes, like a lot of shoes. So I was bad with shoes at one point. Uh, yeah, so I've been able to cut that. Uh, and you said it with my spending strategies. I just well, I've I've definitely learned how to just manage and budget my money, a lot more, especially uh, you know, with me moving into, again, the season that I'm in, and really wanting to create what I want to create for myself and my family, you know, uh, and getting older is like you really gotta, learn to budget, better. I mean, all people out there, you don't budget. That's probably the number one uh, reason you fail in managing, your finances, because you don't have a budget. Uh, and one thing I go by, I watched an interview and it was Shaq, and he was talking about, just how to budget and manage your money. And he said,
Okay.
okay, so if you make X amount, just say, you made $1,000. You have this $1,000 here. Now you take that and you cut that $1,000 in half. You take 500, you put it over here. Then you take this 500, put it over there. Then you cut that 500 in half. And when you cut that 500 in half, what? That's 250. Now you got 250 to play with. And then you take this 250. If you smart, instead of keeping it at 500 and 500, you take this 250 and you put it over here. And out of this is what you're saving and investing in. And then you got this 250 to play with, do whatever you want to do with. So I kind of try and think about that. So, I have separate accounts. That's one thing that helps me, because, I transfer money into a certain account, don't touch it at all. Don't try to act like I don't even know it's there. Uh, and yeah, that helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, another thing, I believe it was an interview I was watching with Master P, and he said if you can't buy it twice, you don't have enough money to buy it at all.
Mm.
So yeah, when it comes to certain things that I may want or desire, it's like if I can't buy it twice and comfortably, be in a position I want to be in when it comes to just my check-ins and my savings, then I don't need to have it. So it helps me out a lot as far as those few things. And here lately, I've turned into a frugal, like real frugal grandpa type guy. Like I don't be trying to spend no money if I don't have to. That's probably why I'm one of the reasons I'm single right now, because I ain't going on no dates, baby. Not right now. Like we got goals we just trying to work to, like hell, if we gonna go on a date, let's go to the library and work or something. Like let's have a work date at the crib or something. Like I know how to cook. Mom's taught me, so I can whip us up a nice meal, roll up, get a bottle of wine, and we can get some work done. But I ain't about to, yeah, I ain't about to go out. We ain't about to be doing too much dating right now. So we
I
got
feel that.
goals, and too much, on the table to be, wasting money. So yeah, that being real frugal done helped me lately. Like it
Nice.
done, I gotta sacrifice something, so I'm sacrificing that date in life right now in order to, get to where we going. Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. But plus, I'm looking for some. I desire much more, in that area of my life. So we not in a rush. We're not in a rush at all.
Ain't no point in being.
Yeah.
Does your key values and life missions speak first to your race and then the world? Vice versa, or that is not a thought of yours as you live day to day?
Uh, it speak for me personally. It speaks to my race, then the world. But far as just the meaning of how it's pushed, it's to the world, and then to my people. Just far as like from the outside looking in, I believe, and that's how I like it. Like outside looking in, I want it to be for the world, then for my people. Not saying that I'm not gonna do do things or support my people or anything like that whatsoever, or lack in that area. But for me personally, speaks to my people and then the world. Uh, Ultimately, because Prevail is culture. It's for the culture. That's why it was created.
Mm.
Uh, I mean, not to bring race or anything too much into it, but those kids that help push this, bring this vision and ignite it, they were kids of my race.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they were kids that motivated me, that made me just move. I had this ideal for a little bit of time, but it wasn't something I was necessarily like, moving on at the time. It just was ideal. And they ignited that fire for me. So, you know, eh, my people, we've been through the most, at least that's what I strongly believe. We can have that debate any other day, but you know, we've been through the most. We still go through the most. So, for me, that's what I'm preaching to, my people, to prevail. to overcome. I'm not saying, for example, people, I always talk about, oh, we haven't got our reparations. We haven't got our 40 acres and a mule. I'm not, I'm not saying we haven't. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm not telling you not to fight for that still, but get off your ass and go do it. Like, we we at a time and age where even though we still go through a lot of BS, within this world and endure a lot of BS, we're still capable to move and do way more than what our ancestors could. You
Yeah.
know, we're able to still make something. Not saying it's still not going to be hard. Not saying you're still not going to deal with things. Uh, when it comes to you being a black man or a black woman, a black girl, boy, whatever the case may be, like you're still going to deal with those issues, those systematic issues, uh, social issues, injustices. Like it's a part of life. It's a part of what we go through as a people. So like, yeah, do everything in your power to change it, but in the midst of that, like you still got opportunity, way more opportunity than you've ever had to do whatever it is you want to do. So, it's ultimately up to you, honestly.
Yes. When you have something that's super important to you, what do you tell yourself to get pumped?
I don't know. I just self motivate myself a lot. I've learned to just talk to myself a lot, like out loud.
Okay.
Uh, you know, whether it's just my affirmations to me, just something simple as me coming in the house and sitting down knowing I have something to do, and just like, come on, man. You gotta get up off your butt. You got stuff to do. Like, I know you tired, but come on, man. Like, just get up. Like, I just talk to myself. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of people tell me like, man, you weird, you be talking to yourself. But it's like, I I talk to y'all. Why can't I talk to myself? Like, I'm my own best friend. Why can't I talk to myself? Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and then it's
I
just,
do.
also, watching and how you talk to yourself, though. I had to change in a sense of, sometimes you might make a bonehead decision and you be like, ah, damn, like dumbass, or you stupid, or, something like that. And it's like, nah, like, don't even say that. You still that's speaking negative energy. So, I just try and say different things like, oh man, you silly. Like, like, oh, you silly for that. Or, but just watching how you talk to yourself and the conversations you have with yourself. Idle mind is the devil's workplace. So, in those times, when you are with yourself and in your head, just making sure you just have those positive conversations and positive talks, and, saying, different things also, not when it comes to accomplishing a goal or getting something done. I said like, oh, I'm trying to do this, or like, no, I'm doing this, I am doing that, or you know
Yes.
you- just manifestation. Honestly speaking, everything into existence. I feel like those conversations you have with yourself, and when you're telling yourself this is what I'm going to do, it like your mind is like the engine. It's starting your body up to move. Without you telling yourself that stuff, you're not going to move. uh so yeah, I just talk to myself honestly, and it helps me get going. And also just writing things down, you know whether
Nice.
it be whiteboard. I have a little black book I keep with me, writing things down. uh that definitely helps, because that's just another form of also talking to yourself. You go back and you actually able to read it, word for word. And like, yeah, and it feels good when you're able to scratch that off, like, okay, like I did this, check. Like when you can physically see yourself scratching that off, like I accomplished that goal. Now let me, move on to the next thing. So, that helps out a lot as well.
Yes. When you have something, I'll just ask you that. Name 5 people that you know that embody instrumental traits children should emulate. And then you don't have to know them personally. They could be dead or alive.
So traits that children emulate, I would say Shaq, just because he's a big kid in a sense of just being able to have fun, enjoy life and laugh. Like, I don't know him personally, but every time, I see him for the most part, unless it's, some serious stuff, he's just always joking around and laughing. Uh, even at Kobe's funeral, he made, the whole joke, and had everybody laughing, through conversation him and Kobe had. So I feel like just, being able to enjoy life, laugh and joke around and just have that playfulness spirit, no matter your age, is, always important. Uh, Bob Marley, I'm a huge fan of Bob's, and it's just him as a person. Not even because I, smoke butt or anything. More so, just I love his music and what he preached. But the main thing he, you know, taught was love. To love. And one thing about kids, like their love is just so genuine. You could
Yes.
whoop a kid, and 2 seconds later, they telling you how much they love you. They want to hug you, kiss you, and come tell you they sorry. Anything. Or just seeing how they interact with other children or just other people. Like you could just see genuine love, you know through kids. So that's a big one for me. Uh, you said 5 people. Who are some other people? Uh, One of my biggest inspirations as well, my female cousin. Her name's Kiana White, and honestly, Prep Curry. Not to go back. Sorry, I'm gonna finish this. Not Prep Curry is a dope designer. You can interview him as well. But my cousin Kiana, she's dope. I feel like she would be a great interview as well, especially for Black women, just because the things she's endured and had to overcome within her life.
Okay.
Different, pregnancy losses, as far as miscarriages. Uh, yeah, if you get to interview her, I won't tell too much of her story because I feel like that would be a dope interview and she could tell it better than me. But long story short, she's a daycare owner now. And she has 2 of her own daycares. One far as open now, and she's actually just bought another building and about to open, her second one. But
Nice.
uh, just her give the and I say her is just and that's why she could what God is doing for her within her life because she's just a giver. Like she'll give you the clothes off her back, she'll give you her laughs, and it just emulates kids in a sense because for the most part, a kid give you anything for the most part, or when it comes to playing and sharing with one another, or you know I have a little cousin. I might ask, like, play around with him when he eating his snack, and he get down to his last one, like, "Ooh, can I have one?" And with no second thoughts or looking like this my last one or nothing. Like get it here. So just her
Nice.
giving spirit. I would say her because yeah, she's a giver, man. She's definitely a giver, and she's helped so many people and continues to help people. So she'll always be blessed for that. Man, 5. I have what, 2 more, right? I
Right.
have 2 more people. um, I would say, man, who would be somebody else? Let me guess. Let me think. Uh, man, that's I'm trying to think of two more people uh can use. I would say who is someone else that I like? Well, I would even say Nipsey. Just his tenacity. Uh, I watch a lot of interviews on people who, inspire me. And I've been a fan of Nip, way before, the tragic incident that, occurred, with his tragic death. Um, like back in 2013, around the time, when his Crenshaw mixtape came out, I have been rocking with him since, around that time.
Mhm.
But just following his story and, seeing all the things, he went through and how, different, situations could have, kind of, you know, made him, make him get to a point where he wanted to quit or give up. And just that tenacity to push on and keep going, no matter what. Uh, I think that emulates kids, honestly, because a lot of times, kids don't know how strong they are sometimes when it comes to certain situations. And, when you just, kind of sit there and let them go through on their own. I mean, just like simple stuff, far as, it may be a little baby trying to, climb up on something. And it's like he can get it, on his own. And you might be sitting there kind of crying because he's struggling, and it's like, but nah, just sit back, relax, don't help him. He can get through it himself. Like, and after he does it, even in those babies, it still builds that confidence, that tenacity to be able to be like, oh, like I can do this on my own. Like I can get through this. I don't need nobody help. Next thing you know, they jumping up there.
Right.
So just that tenacity and that confidence, to even after you get knocked down, to you know keep trying and keep trying, and once you get it, you got it. You got the blueprint. You're able to get it from that point on. So that's probably another one. Then trying to think of a fifth. You asked, kind of asked me a tough one. And I would say myself. I
Okay.
would just say myself, honestly, because the four people I gave you, I feel as if I have those values within myself. I'm a big kid. Like I have tons of, nieces, nephews, little cousins, and I'm the one that's still playing with them, wrestling, play fighting with them, rolling in the ground with them, you know, playing jokes on them, pranking them, all that type of stuff. So I'm a, be a big kid forever. But I won't lie. Like again, I'm in no rush whatsoever. It's Godspeed. But
I
I
feel
definitely
that.
can't wait to start my own family and have my own little ones. Just because I just want to be able to laugh at them and joke with them and all that. Like I really feel like I'm gonna be that that pops when they see me, they gonna like, oh no, like not this guy, like because they know they know I'm gonna be up to no good. Like yeah, so
That's
and
great.
and then just the again the giving spirit, like I preached the whole night, just being able to you know be a helping hand to someone else and being able to serve other people, just a dope feeling. uh so going back to my cousin being a giver, you know uh and then just the tenacity and being able to fall and get up and still keep it going. uh when that baby's learning to walk, you get up, take 2 3 steps, fall, get up and do it all over again.
Right.
It's not about falling. It's about getting up, landing where you land and getting up and taking a couple more steps. Like, you may take 3 steps and fall, but when you get up and take 3 more, when you look back, you done took 6 steps. You further, from the beginning, closer to that finish line. So, uh, yeah, just then, that tenacity, and then, yeah, Bob and just love. You know, I love all. I'm just, when you have a loving spirit, when you just, at peace with self, of course, in order to love, it starts with self. That's one thing I also had to learn through trial and error with relationships. You can't love anyone else or give anyone else, any type of love, no matter how great of a person you are. You can't give anyone authentic and genuine love if you don't love yourself first.
Facts.
You're gonna give what off far as just the reflection of you, how you feel about yourself is what you're gonna give to others. And you can be the most nicest and genuine person, but when you at war with yourself and dealing with those self issues, a side of you gonna come out that you give to others that you wouldn't expect. So just the whole love thing. I've learned to love myself and you know be at peace with myself and things of that nature, and it correlates in how I treat others.
Yes. Thank you. Name 5 people that are powerhouses in their industries.
Like that's just powerhouses in general, or that like kind of inspire me or something like that.
In general.
In general, I'm gonna say Jay-Z. Just
Oh,
yeah, to see what like that's a far as to see what he's been able to do, on that. I mean, in general, through music business to get to the point where he is, like, yeah, that like that's dope. Like that's dope. So I definitely believe, he's a huge powerhouse in like in just life. I won't even say the industry. Like, I mean, that man can touch probably almost he could touch a lot of people. He has contact to a lot of people. Uh, so yeah, I would say him. Uh, I gotta go with my man Dapper Dan because it would be no like upscale, urban fashion, and even with these fashion brands are doing today, it wouldn't be none of that without without Dapper Dan, back in the day was doing, for things of that nature. Uh, so definitely got to give him his roses. Uh, man, I really don't do too much like getting into other designers, especially just as far as their work or anything, because I don't ever want another designer necessarily to inspire my own designs, if that makes sense. Not
yeah.
saying that they don't have dope work, but I want my work to always reflect just me, authentically who I am. So, I don't necessarily want to pull from too many other artists or designers, but there's a guy named Devlin Carter out of Oakland, California, who has his own brand.
Okay.
And I feel he's a powerhouse in his own right, simply because he's doing everything independent, and he has like top quality work and offers so much like better quality than your Nikes and you know Adidas and Reeboks and things of that nature. And he's a big inspiration for just in my journey of turning in my whole brand into the whole fashion side, and really pushing it because I've always liked fashion and stuff, which I started before I found the guy. As far as just doing apparel to really push the message and
Hmm.
market it, and just end up diving deeper off into it after I found the love for it. But he was a big inspiration through his brand and what he was doing. Like I said, especially doing everything independent and having a following he has, and like the selling out every Saturday. He drops shoes every Saturday, and he sells out within 30 seconds to a minute. You know, and I think that's dope. To me, that's a powerhouse to be a black man. Not having a big backing, not having a big support when it comes to the major, corporations and brands, not having, too much support when it comes to just like the industry within itself when it comes to, putting him out there and what he's doing, for our culture. And with his own money, and building what he's building, to me that's a heavy hitter and a powerhouse. Like there's only ups, from here, for the guy or whatever. So uh yeah, I to me that's a powerhouse, just doing what he's able to do, over there with his brand. Uh
Yes.
uh two more. I'm gonna say for me, it might be a little biased, but I gotta go with my girl Lauren Hill, just
Lauren
because
Hill.
yeah, she
Oh,
a powerhouse. Just
yes,
because like
indeed.
for you to drop one album in your lifetime, so and it be just a classic, and
Drop the mic.
yeah, like you, and for you to have as much pull as you still still have for real. I mean, in the music world, you know what I mean, and people still talk about you till these days. No matter whether it's good or bad, whatever they talking about. Like for them to mention Lauren Hill to this day, like you definitely a powerhouse. And like I said, Miseducation of Lauren Hill is a classic. If
Yes.
I had three albums to take with me on a deserted island or something, that's definitely one of them. Like yeah, that's a classic. You know, I don't even think she could even match that if she was to drop another album. I don't even like
I
yeah.
don't think so.
So I would definitely I'm gonna have to throw Lauren in there just off of that fact alone. Uh, and then I would say what Elon Musk, just because he's just the guy that was innovative with and with what he's doing over in his industry, and in order to stand the test of time and to be around for years and years and years, you have to be innovative. You have to keep up with the times. I mean, I know things recycle themselves in a sense, but you have to be able to you know not think too much in the now. You have to be able, when it comes to your brand and the things you push and the industry you're in, you have to be able to see 5, 10, 15 years from now. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm quoting this, and I could kind of be off a little bit, but because it's been a while. But I had watched the interview with Dane Dash, and I believe he had said something about the wall of China. I believe it was about like a 200 or 2,000 year plan. You know, so that just goes to show you, you have to live for the present, be in the present, but you have to be able to still you know, be able to think, 5, 10, 15 years from now in order to, have something that's going to stand the test of time. Uh, like one of my homies, he told me, for example, like every black man should have a 200-year plan for his family.
Mm,
So if you send a 200-year plan, you got to be able to be innovative to have a 200-year plan.
for
You
real, for
know,
real.
You feel me? So that's definitely big. That's definitely big for sure.
What's your website and business name?
Business name Prevail Goddy. Website is www.prevail. Prevail is spelled Preval. By Goddy. Goddy is Goddy .com. So www.prevailbygoddy.com.
Awesome. And how do we contact you on social media?
You could just IG, which is Prevail by Gotti, spelled the same way. You know, it's brand name. Again, Prevail is Preval. Gotti is Goddy. Prevail by Gotti.
Okay. And I do want to make mention that I met Derek on on Clubhouse in the Industry Connect room. So I want to shout out D Castro and Spider them and CEO Miami Mike and King Rich and Ken Folk and all of them people over there for setting up that room, because I've connected with some amazing business owners through that platform. So, Derek, last thing we have, our last segment is called Mining for Diamonds. And that's when I asked you to throw out two more gems. You've already thrown out a slew of gems already, but throw out two more gems you would give to aspiring business people who are aspiring to become a business owner, or even business owners that are already in place.
Uh, I think the first main thing is, I mean, probably the most simple thing, but yet could be the most difficult for some people. And it's like just move. You know, in order to bring something to life, you must move. You know, you can have this ideal in your head of what you want to do, how you want to do it, but until you just make that, you know, take that leap of faith and do that first step, then at the end of the day, it's just gonna be this ideal in your head. Uh, but when you move and you begin to see, you know, those results, it pushes you to do more. You know, because it's like, you know, you see that one thing and it's like, man, this is dope. And it builds that confidence for you to keep pushing, like, well, you know, if I can do this, let me do this. If I can do that,
Yeah.
then I can do this. And then it also helps you elevate within whatever you're doing as well. Cause then, you know, after you begin learning how to do certain things, it's gonna, you know, that results you to take it a step further and say, like, man, now let me, you know, learn to do this. You know, for example, I start off learning how to, you know, do my own embroidery and things of that nature, and you know, own printing and things. And then it got deeper to like, man, I actually want to sew. Like, I want to make, you know, items from scratch as well. You know, it just grows for you after you begin to move. You know, and then secondly, I would say if you're serious about whatever, you know, you're doing business wise and whatever industry you're in, is as you're moving, don't get too caught up on being a creative in whatever you're doing. uh like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely a need for you to create, but if it's something that you really want to, you know, turn into a lucrative business brand, whatever, and monetize off of, like, take care of the back end early, far as like the business side of things, you know, far as EIN numbers, trademarks, LLCs, uh you know, so much other things, you know. But you know, really research, you know, reach out to people if you don't know, uh you know, learn, just do as much research on your own. uh I've heard many people say it, and I'm a big fan of it as well, that like Google and YouTube can be your best friends at times.
Right.
You know, just learn, you know, learn the business side of it, you know, and that'll help you go, you know, help you down the road. And you know, even when it comes to people wanting to invest in you, invest with what you have going on, you don't have that back end taken care of, and everything in order on the business side, then they gonna automatically check you off the list at that point. So those would probably be the two main things I would say focus on.
Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure talking to you. I am very excited about what you're doing and what you're doing for the culture. It's needed. And so I'm glad that I have this platform for you to be able to share some of the things that you got going on. We thank you, like I said, for coming on to the show and being a business spotlight today. Audience, I just want you to continue to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at BNS LLC. Musicians, you can send us your music to a news you can use podcast at gmail.com. All the information is in the show notes. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, and tune in to the next episode. Peace.
Free your mind while it's time. What's up with that? I got one thing on my mind. Revolution. Yo, that's Preval Goddy. Please make me die 1,000 deaths in a day, and then I won't jump in the front while you put it down for the new time. Put it down for the new time. Assalamu alaikum. Peace. Shalom, shalom. Hotel. Yeah, MIDT Records. B&B Production. Rhythmic Sound. Love to rap to you. Check it out. At all your local neighborhood stores.
Hey, this is Andrea Richardson, owner and founder of Womb Care Woman. I'm dedicated to the liberation and the love of Black women, babes, families, and folks. I'm offering full spectrum doula services, whether it's birth, pleasure, sex, death, or loss, along with Reiki healing and activation, and tarot and birth natal readings as well. You can find me on my website, wombcarewoman.com. That's Womb Care Woman is spelled WOMXN.com. I can't wait to connect.
Check this out. Yo, them beats is poppin'. Check this out. St. Louis' very own hit record release. Love Song. By JCD, rap artist. Yeah, he's fat. Check this out. From MIDT Records, B&B Production. Pick it up at your local neighborhood store.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of a News You Can Use podcast, where we promote melanated business owners across the diaspora, promoting positivity across the diaspora whilst changing our narrative, giving Black business owners and African business owners a platform to talk their shit. Subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts. Review the podcast and rate the podcast on Apple Podcasts. It helps us a lot because it helps more people discover us, and it helps us to get more sponsors to continue to produce more episodes and elevate the podcast. Follow us on Spotify. That way, when you follow and subscribe, you'll be notified of the next episode when it's released. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at BE and Us LLC. Be and Us LLC. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Comment on the posts, your feedback, comments, or questions in regards to any of the episodes you've listened to. Leave us a voice message on the Anchor app. It's a free app you can download, and you can leave us a voice message, which I may play on the next episode. You can give us any suggestions, any suggested guests, feedback. I just want to hear from you. So leave us a message on Anchor app. Super excited about all of the new products and lines that I've designed through BNS LLC. So I've been painting and putting the paintings on merchandise. So you can purchase the original art. You can purchase shower curtain sets, prints, framed prints, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, fanny packs, all that you can purchase in either the BNS LLC Threadless Artist Shop or the Teespring store. You can just click BNS LLC in the show notes, and that will take you to the link tree that will display all of the links where you can purchase items by BNS LLC and by Roblin's Customs, by the Buy Black campaign. We're still selling the 100th year commemoration of Black Wall Street's, Tulsa's Black Wall Street and the Tulsa Massacre, where we got red, black, and green hoodies commemorating that event in life. I have great news. I have dropped a new album. So what? Wicked. I dropped a new album. I made some tracks and with my iPhone, and they are available for purchase on Apple Music and Amazon Music, and you can stream it on Spotify. Follow my artist page on Spotify. And the album's called Supernova Universe. So it's all instrumental tracks, dope beats, dope fresh beats. I believe that you'll enjoy them. And share on your social media. Tag me. You know, when you've purchased a song or the album, it's only $7 for the album, and or 99 cents for each track. So I'd love to hear your feedback on the album as well on Instagram or Facebook, the BNS LLC pages. Tap in with us in regards to the Omnia radiation balancer, where it harmonizes the radiation and energies flowing from your electronic devices. It balances the energy to your body. Awesome product. If you use code B, capital B, you get 10% off. There's more information in the show notes. Musicians, send us your music to anewsyoucanusepodcast@gmail.com. That's anewsyoucanusepodcast@gmail.com. Thank you.
Black woman, black woman, I want to create a beautiful world for you, black woman. A world of beauty for beautiful you. A world where black women can bathe, naked and unashamed in gentle streams. A world where poetry is you, black woman, bathing in gentle rhythmic waves. I will create, until I create that world for you, black woman. You smiling, the beginning of all things, like the sea caressed by moving fingers. If ever there was a beginning, it was you. Smiling waves moving in soft geometric patterns, forms blending into the subtle perfection of your body, glistening with crystal droplets of love's water and smiling, even in tears. The waves come gently at times, but even the sea is made rough by the angry moon, and you are sometimes sadness, trying to harness that moon, but the sea is alive in your eyes. And the perfection of
David Nelson, Redemption Songs, Last Poet.
Like you, smiling. I want to create a beautiful world for you, black woman. A world of beauty for beautiful you. A world where black women can bathe, naked and unashamed in gentle streams. A world where poetry is you, black woman, bathing in gentle rhythmic waves. I will create